We will call to order the meeting of the Governing Board of the Lammersville Unified School District at 7:01 p.m. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and live streamed, so we ask that you silence and/or turn off your cell phones at this time. For any members of the public here wishing to make a comment on an agendized or non-agendized item, we ask that you fill out a blue comment card located in the back of the room so that we know when to call upon you. This evening, we have students from Mountain House High School here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and so we will call them forward now to do so.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hello, board members. My name is Katerina Espinoza, and I'm this year's ASB president at Mountain House High School.
And my name is Kirpa Buller, and I'm this year's ASB Vice President, and we're going to be talking to you guys about what leadership has done this semester. So this year, we worked really hard to make all of our events bigger and better, and we've done a lot of our old traditions as well as started many new activities. We started off the school year with our Welcome Back rally, and we followed that shortly after with Homecoming. And Homecoming included the rally, the Spirit Week, the community parade, the football game, and the dance. And then we also held Connections Week, which is our school's spin on Spirit Weeks, where instead of asking students to dress up, we give back to them with treats and activities in a hope to build a better bond with them so they feel more enticed to participate in our activities when the time comes. We also held our annual haunted house, which was a success this year, and our leadership class got to participate in an involved leadership training, which is a leadership development program where we learn how to better connect with the students and plan events for everyone.
So those were all of our annual events, but this year in particular, we've done a lot of new events. So to start, we had our Winter Wonderland walkthrough, also known as Holiday Spirit event, where we invited members of the community to come to our school, look at Christmas lights, and enjoy holiday activities. In addition to that, our leadership class has been focused on being inclusive. So this year, we've had every week students go to the special education classrooms and participate in activities in order to help them feel more like a Mustang. And then finally, every committee in our leadership class has been working to focus and highlight individual groups in our school. So this ranges from academically focused students to online students to transfer students, and they're just trying to find ways to appreciate and recognize these students in ways that are meaningful to them. And yeah.
Okay, so next semester, we're going to start off the semester with our winter formal and our culture rally and Spirit Week, which is going to be in January. And then we're going to also have our Black Light Rally and Night Rally, which are really popular rallies that we hold every year. The junior class will also be doing our car show fundraiser, which has been a really popular community event in the past. And because we have the flag football team this year, we won't be holding a powder puff, but we're going to instead introduce the Capture the Flag event, which is still in the works of planning it. And then our last dance of the year is the junior and senior prom, which is going to be at San Francisco's Exploratorium. And this year, these are all the events that we know for sure are happening, but this semester taught us one thing, and it's that we're definitely going to be adding more small events and more moments to the school year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 3, we will be administering. Oh, you finished it, sorry. So sorry.
Hi, good evening. We are with Mountain House Skills USA. My name is Ethan Donraj. I am the president, and this is Doc Strain, our vice president. We just want to talk about what we've been up to this year. So as many of you guys know, we are a career technical student organization that promotes competitions for 7 of the 8 Mustang pathways, CTE pathways at Mountain House High School. This year, we have hosted a domestic violence clothing drive in the month of October to support victims of domestic violence. We're also planning on hosting a pathway showcase for all the middle schoolers at the various schools in Mountain House to learn more about the pathways that are offered at Mountain House, collaborating with different industry partners and different people. We also plan on hosting a veteran care package to show our support to veterans.
So Skill USA is built off 3 frameworks: personal skills, technical skills, and workplace skills. Majority of our 100 plus competitive events incorporate all 3 parts of the framework, making sure that our students are well versed in all rounds of their technical experience.
The last year, we were able to send 127 teams to regionals and even led to 3 teams going to nationals where they were able to compete at the highest level. And we hope to send more people this year. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good evening, Dr. Nicholas, President Olson, members of the board. Appreciate you giving us a little bit of time here. Our Skills USA folks have been busy this year and last year, obviously, with over 100 teams competing, and they're just one of our CTSOs on campus. Just showcases all the work happening at the high school on a regular basis. I wanted to talk about, just for a couple more minutes of your time, just a couple of awards that have come our way as a high school as of late. I'm thrilled to announce that Mountain House High School has been named the 2024 National Blue Ribbon School. It's one of the most prestigious honors awarded by the U.S. Department of Education in Washington, D.C. And the honors have been awarded since 1982, but the program celebrates schools that demonstrate exceptional academic performance. Mountain House High School was named an exemplary high-performing high school. Eligibility for this honor is highly competitive, with schools nominated by their state's respective Department of Ed. This year, if I can move forward, there's our map. But this year, only 33 schools in California received the award, representing just 10% of total recipients nationwide. Of those, 40% were high schools and 21% were traditional public high schools. Notably, Mountain House High School was the largest school in all of California to earn the award in 2024, with our enrollment at 2,304 students last year. To achieve this distinction, schools must meet rigorous criteria and consistently demonstrate excellence in academic achievement or measurable progress. This recognition is a testament to the dedication, innovation, and talent of our incredible teaching staff and their unwavering commitment to student success. All right, and one more that just came. I know we just keep on rolling. In addition to the National Blue Ribbon, Mountain House High School earned a place in the 2024 Advanced Placement Honor Roll with a silver distinction this year. The award highlights our success at expanding access to AP courses while maintaining strong student performance. Last year, 64% of our seniors took at least one AP exam, and that's just our seniors. And of our entire senior class, 51% of them, including those who didn't take an exam, scored a 3 or higher, and 25% completed 5 or more AP exams throughout their tenure in high school. Again, this graph showcases while we received a silver award based primarily on the number of our senior class students who took an AP exam, we scored in the platinum category for the other 2, which truly demonstrates the exceptional capacity of our kids and our teaching staff. These accomplishments truly affirm Mountain House High School as a hub of academic excellence and student achievement. So I'd like to thank our board members, our staff at the high school, our students, and our community for making these achievements possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Always exciting to hear the wonderful things that are going on at Mountain House High School. We will now move on to item number 3, and where we will administer the oath of office to our new trustee, Trustee Modi.
You could raise your right hand, please. I, Samik Modi, do solemnly swear
I, Samik Modi, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
That I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Keep holding hands.
Here we go. All right.
Trustee Modi would, yeah, that's what I was just going to ask, if he wanted his family to come up for a photo.
Oh, how cute. Nice work, buddy. Okay. Okay, stay right there.
Moving on to item 4, roll call.
Lisa Boulay. Here. Benita Daniel. Here. Samik Modi.
Here.
Stephanie Olson.
Here.
David Pombo.
Here.
Devika Vitulani.
Here.
Item 5, approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Pombo, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is approved with 5 ayes and no nos. Moving on to item 6, committee reports. Item A, District Advisory Committee, trustee Boulay.
Nothing to report.
Item B, District English Language Advisory Committee, trustee Modi.
Nothing to report.
Item C, Education Committee, trustee Pombo.
I had something to report, but the computer lost it somewhere in the stratosphere, I suppose. I can wing it. The next meeting of the Education Committee is scrolling. January 9th at 6:30 in the PDC.
Facilities Committee, trustee Pombo.
Yes, at our last Facilities Committee meeting, we, in addition to our regular duties, we discussed the, trying to remember what we discussed. I typed it up. We discussed the possibility of raising fees for large groups because of the added need for custodial services. We also discussed an item that's on our agenda tonight, which is the purchase of padding to go around the posts at Cuesta School for the solar arrays. And that's all I can remember.
Item E, Policy Committee, trustee Daniel.
We have the approval of the second reading and adoption of updated board policies and administrative regulation in today's agenda.
Item F, Safety Committee, trustee Pombo.
Nothing to report.
And item G, Wellness Committee, trustee Daniel.
On December 11th, I attended the Wellness Committee meeting, and we talked about the schools, each school's concert, staff holiday party, the snowball fights, and all the good stuff during the month of December. And we also talked about the conference for the food services team. We also spoke about the updates that are coming in place for the policies, which are AB 2316. There was also a discussion about the wellness plan being reviewed. We also went through the policy 5131.8 was reviewed, and we looked at the verbiage. We also had updates about the farmers market dates that are going to come up, and that's all for Wellness Committee.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7, Governing Board Reports, student trustee Vitulani.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving break. and you guys are all ready for winter break. So to start off, I would like to begin by reflecting on my experience with the CSBA Student Board Member Conference. So on December 4th was the first day of the conference, where we basically met with all of the board members and we were really able to network with them. And we were part of workshops that really helped us learn about effective governance, advocacy, and learning new techniques and practices to really connect the student body with the board. The second day was the Leadership Disney Assembly. So we visited Disneyland, where we had the Leadership Assembly, which is a very rare opportunity to have, and we were extremely lucky to be part of that. And right after the assembly, we were able to enjoy Disneyland with the board members, which was a really great experience because we were able to both connect with the board members about our duties and also get to know them on a personal level. Now, coming on to ASB updates, recently we held a very successful Winter Wonderland where we showcased our school with a bunch of lights, and we also held a bunch of activities for the families at Mountain House High School. And lastly, for the Tri-Valley Leadership Conference is coming up for MHHS leadership students, and it is a much anticipated event being held at Cal High School. We are extremely excited to really learn about the new leadership techniques and learn and network with everybody there. That concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Modi.
All right. So I attended the CSBA with my fellow board members and the student trustee. The first day was spent at a session with 400 other brand new board members throughout the state of California, which was a really good fire hose to drink from for 8 hours. But I did have a lot of learning opportunities there. And then I just wanted to briefly, talk about the other sessions that I took a session on finance, public speaking or public opinions, board appeals from students and parents, AI, Brown Act, which was exciting, a lot of excitement there, and then advancing equity for all students. So in general, I thought the conference was very well coordinated, put on, and I enjoyed attending from a learning standpoint. Of course, learned personally getting to know the other board members as well, but that is my board report.
Thank you. Trustee Daniel.
From December 4th to 7th, I attended the CSBA conference with my fellow board members. It was a very good experience. As always, a learning phase where I continued to learn more. I did attend the board president's workshop on the first day, and it was a very, very good knowledge gathering workshop about the responsibilities. And I also attended sessions which included safety, mental wellness, budget, finance, AI. AI was the hot topic there. So I did attend a session there. Most of all, I did get an opportunity to spend some one-on-one time with my fellow board members. And I would like to thank my board members for being open and connecting with me. I really enjoyed the time with you all. On December 11th, I attended the Wellness Committee, and that there ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Pombo.
Yes, on November 7th, I attended the aforementioned Facilities Committee meeting. On the 13th, along with most of the board, I attended the special board meeting. On the 19th, I attended the white coat ceremony at Mountain House High School and the boys and girls basketball games afterward. On the 20th, I attended the safety committee meeting, and although when I did my committee report, I said I had nothing to report, I will share that the entire committee took a Stop the Bleed course given by Mountain House Fire Department, and we will all be certified to stop the bleed should that need ever come up. Then in the evening, I attended the Friendsgiving Inclusion at Wickland Elementary. On December 3rd through 7th, I attended, along with the rest of the board, the CSBA conference, where I am a CSBA delegate. So we meet for 2 days before the conference actually begins. And then during the conference, I spent most of my time on courses to do with school safety and school finance. On December 12th, I attended the Cordis PTA meeting and then the Mountain House High School Jazz Band and Band concert, which was very enjoyable. We got a lot of talented musicians in our high school and in our district. On the 13th, I attended the Altamont Snow Globe Festival at Altamont Elementary, which is always a good time. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Boulay.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to welcome Trustee Modi. Congratulations on your election win, and I am definitely looking forward to working with you, so welcome. On November 12th, I attended the high school girls division semifinals for tennis. It was a very, very close match in this new league that they're playing. There was a lot of tiebreaker games. Unfortunately, they did not come out with the win, so that was the end of their season, but they did have a very good season. On the 13th, along with some of my other fellow board members, I attended the special governing board meeting where we interviewed candidates to replace Trustee Clements' seat, and I do want to congratulate President Olson for earning that seat, and I'm glad that I get to continue to work with you. On the November 16th, I attended the high school play, Much Ado About Nothing. As you know, this is likely know, it's a Shakespeare play, but our high school does a very good job on putting a twist on that, and so they had a World War II theme to this Much Ado About Nothing, and they did a really great job. It was very creative and very entertaining. On the 19th, I attended the high school National Technical Honor Society induction ceremony and white coat ceremony at the high school. And I think I've been to the white coat ceremony almost every year, and I have to say that ceremony grows and grows and grows. There were a lot of kids there, and so it is a great program, and I'm excited to see so many kids participate. After the ceremony, I attended the varsity girls, followed by the varsity boys foundation basketball games at the high school with Trustee Pombo. And then on December 5th through 7th, I attended the CSBA conference with all the people up here, including Dr. Nicholas, our executive assistant, and our student board member. And again, that's, as everyone said, it's a great opportunity to continue with our professional development. After I got back home on the 7th, I attended Wickland's production of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They always do such a good job with their plays, and it was a really nice way to start off the Christmas season. On December 11th, I attended the town council meeting and gave the Lammersville Unified School District update for the month. And I have to say that that's a fun meeting to go to as the board clerk, because as you can see today, we have so many accomplishments in our district. So really, it's all about bragging. And so I enjoy going to that meeting. On the 13th, I attended the Altamont Winter Festival. And on the 14th, despite the weather, I attended WSF. I actually ran in WSF's Jingle All the Way 5K. It was a miserable morning before the race, but right before the race start, the rain stopped. And as I was coming through the finish line, the sun was out, and 1 minute later, it started pouring again. So it was really a nice run despite the weather before and after. And I want to give kudos to all of the volunteers that were out there, because they were out there in the pouring rain. And yeah, hopefully everyone had a great time, but I sure did. Finally, I would like to wish all LUSD staff, students, and families a very happy holiday season and a relaxing winter break. And that is the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. On November 20th, I attended the safety committee meeting along with Trustee Pombo, and learned the Stop the Bleed, did the course, and pray I never have to actually stop the bleed. It was enough to see the little foam blood. I also attended the WSF Friendsgiving Inclusion Night at Wickland that evening, and it's always a wonderful event, and I appreciate their efforts to focus on ways to be more inclusive, and it was a really nice event. On December 3rd through 7th, I attended the CSBA Annual Education Conference. I started off a full day with the legal symposium, learning about the legal issues that are at the forefront of public education facing local education agencies. And then I was able to take classes dealing with equity for students, especially for Black students. I was able to take classes on AI, which is the hot topic right now, and also a lot of finance classes, learning about our wonderful budget. And then on Tuesday, December 10th, before I move on, I'd like to just really personally thank Dr. Nicholas for really encouraging professional development. He does that for everyone in our district, but he also encourages the board to do likewise. And I think it really adds value and helps us be a cohesive team. And I really did enjoy the time spent with each board member and with Dr. Nicholas. And to that end, Ms. Balzerini does everything for us to make the event smooth and wonderful. And I appreciate those efforts very much, because I see other school boards there where they're like walking from like 2 miles away because they don't have somebody that knows how to like get on there and get things reserved and knows how the conference works. So I just want to thank you so much for making it a really wonderful experience where we can just focus on learning all that we need to learn to be better and do our roles the best we can. And on Tuesday, December 10th, I attended the Mountain House High School choir and orchestra concert. And I love seeing the growth of that program, both programs, choir and orchestra. They were amazing. I didn't want it to stop. I just loved it. So I'm just really, really grateful for the wonderful opportunities our students have to work in the visual and performing arts. On Monday, December 16th, I attended a very exciting 5th, 6th grade basketball game between Cuesta and Wickland, where the score was 3-3 for almost the whole game. And then in the end, it ended up like 11-11 tied and went into double overtime. The energy was just amazing, but it was a good time. It was probably one of the most fun times I've had at a basketball game. I guess we could say it was a defensive. Jim. To conclude my report, I would like to first of all congratulate trustees Boulay, Pombo, and Modi for being elected and part coming back to the board, and also welcome to the board. I'm glad you're here, Trustee Modi. I look forward to working with you, and I would like to thank the board for giving me an opportunity to serve with you again for 2 more years. I was really sad when I thought I would have to roll off the board when I didn't have an opportunity to run. And so I'm grateful because I love this district. I love the work everyone does, and I love supporting it in a way that I can, in any way that I can. And finally, I would like to just wish everyone happy holidays, whether staff is coming into work while it's quiet or like taking all the time off. I wish you all the best. And that concludes my report. Moving on to item 8, receiving of public comments. I do not have any blue comment cards. Is there any member of the audience who wishes to make a comment? Seeing none, we will forego reading our policy and move on to item 9, consent items for consideration. Actions proposed for consent are consistent with the approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. Trustees receive board agenda background information in advance of scheduled meetings and are prepared to vote with knowledge on the consent items, which are item A, governing board minutes of the regular meeting, November 6, 2024 at 7 p.m. and the special meeting, November 13th, 2024, 6 p.m. Item B, contracts under $50,000. Item C, ratification of certificated and classified personnel actions. Item D, updated 2024-2025 fundraisers. Item E, ratification of 2024-2025 inter and intra-district transfer requests. Item F, ratification of 2025-2026 inter-district transfer requests. Item G, ratification of budget revisions for October and November 2024 and warrant list from 10/1/2024 to 11/30/2024. Item H, early approval of high school graduation or reduction of graduation requirements petition for 2 students. Item I, ratification of school-sponsored overnight trips. And item J, acceptance of donations. 1, $500 from West Valley Disposal and Recycling Service for the Biomed White Coat Ceremony for Mountain House High School ASB. Item 2, $100 from Malhotra and Chituri Medical Corp for the Biomed White Coat Ceremony for Mountain House High School ASB. Item 3, $500 from Rainbow Electronics and Fasteners for the Biomed White Coat Ceremony for Mountain House High School ASB. Item 4, $1,000 from David Pombo towards the David D. Pombo Memorial Scholarship. And item 5, $1,040.75 from 56 former LUSD students' lunch account balance to be donated to the food service department by parents' request. Are there any items that the board wishes to poll or further discuss?
Move to approve agenda items, or consent items.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Pombo, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. Madam Clerk, will you please do the honors?
Thank you. I would like to welcome the following new personnel to Lammersville Unified School District. Isabel Aguilar, Administrative Secretary. Adam Brandon, Campus Supervisor. Ingrid Cabrera, High School Clerk. Marissa LaQuaglia, Health Teacher. Bibi Katira Masumi, Register Behavior Technician. Castine Russell, Register Behavior Technician. Nancy San Jose, Kindergarten Teacher. Ambra Sanchez, Food Service Worker. Aurora Suhey, Special Education Teacher. And Alexis Wolf, ELAP Instructional Aide. Welcome to the Lammersville family.
Moving on to item 10, District Administrative Reports. Item A, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, I have a few more celebrations for us to enjoy this evening. It came across my desk a couple of days ago that a very important transition in someone's career has happened, and I wanted to make a special announcement. We have a longstanding community member and employee who has finished his doctorate. And so we would like to acknowledge Mr. now Dr. Ben Faubert for completing his dissertation and his studies. I believe the original name was The Iliad, the Odyssey, and Innovative 21st Century Education, Perspectives from Ben Faubert. But what did it end up being? Okay. So anyways, we'd like to acknowledge our Dr. Faubert for his achievement. It's a job well done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
On a less exciting note, we have contractor interviews coming up on January 7th, and typically we have one board member who attends. Typically, we look for someone who's maybe done that before. Interviews by contractors are technical, and it's about nuts and bolts and girders and stuff like that. But anyone is welcome if we can't get anybody. But January 7th. So if you're interested, please let us know or let me know, and we need one.
I would be interested if no one else steps forward.
I'll let you step forward.
I concur with trustee Boulay. I will let you step forward.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Trustee Pombo. We also got some good news. One of the ladies in our budget department came in very excited earlier this week with some results from the Science Olympiad at Mountain House High School. And so as I read this, and I just want to make sure, there were the overall scores coming from a national competition, and it's kind of hazy here, but I'm looking with my glasses, and it says that the number 1 ranked team in that competition nationally was Mountain House High School Blue Team. So we had 2 teams to go, 2 teams of 15 students, the blue and the silver team. The blue team was number 1 in the nation out of 228 schools. And overall, our teams won 15 medals in 23 events. So congratulations to the hard work from those folks there. it's kind of a long journey to get there, but I would say that we had an exciting event happened for the district. This is our 5th Golden Bell, and it's literally a golden bell. And we had a lovely event at CSBA, and we got to take some pictures with some nice people and have a nice event. So congratulations to everyone. It's about the EPIC program, which does a great job helping our kids. We featured in the photos DJ, whose last name I can't remember, Jackson, who was our office receptionist, who did a tremendous job, and all these kids are growing and doing so well. And we thank everyone at the high school for their good work. And then we have the spelling bee winner and runner up. This is Yuvon Santhosh from Wickland, 6th grader. He's going on to the state, as well as the runner up, who is Rithika Thakur from Mountain House High School. So 2 students representing our district at the state competition for spelling bee. And then the Patriots Pen, which was sponsored by the military, and we had a 2nd place winner, Caitlin Hamilton from Altamont. So we are good at competitions. We're good at writing, and we're going to close out the. Oh, we want to clap for her too. And not least, but last, our VAPA program is growing and strong, and this board and previous boards have made a commitment to expanding our music opportunities, so it's bearing fruit. So we have multiple ensembles who are recognized in terms of the number of students representing our district in certain regional events called ensembles. I'll just leave it at that. So for the All County, which represents band, choir, and orchestra, 51 students from Mountain House High School made it. For the Bay section, representing band, choir, and orchestra, 26 students were accepted from Bethany, Wickland, Evelyn Costa, Cuesta, and Mountain House High School. At the regionals, representing choir, 22 students made it from Mountain House High School. In the all-state part for band, choir, and orchestra, 9 students, Bethany and Mountain House High School. And for the national choir, we had 1 student, Akshara Patnaik, a 10th grader from Mountain House High School, make the nationals. So tremendous work. I want to thank the board and our staff for expanding our musical opportunities, and it's obviously doing well for our kids. So congratulations to everyone. So section finals, tennis, multiple state, region, and national opportunities in music, national champs in science Olympiad, national blue ribbon award winner, and AP merit at platinum, and 1 silver. And last but not least, because this is really exciting, the Cordes Elementary School construction project audit has been completed. And to the business department, Alvina and Gloria and their team, we had no findings. So congratulations. And Madam President, that is my presentation.
Thank you. Item B, district enrollment report.
Now here's another exciting news. Thresholds come and go. In this district, they come fast. As of Monday morning, Mr. Harrison, 8,003 students in Lammersville Unified School District.
Nice. And then item C, district maintenance and operations report. Director Dixon.
Good evening. So first, starting off with civic permits tonight, notice was sent out regarding the opening of civic permits. The groups can begin signing up based on their tier. They can begin signing up on January 7th. We did receive a new batch of radios that have been distributed to our sites for better communication. Over the break, we'll be deep cleaning in certain areas that we haven't been able to get to. Due to the cold weather, we've had some small heating issues at sites, mainly classrooms, nothing really big. They've all been addressed though. Irrigation was turned off in the district the weekend before Thanksgiving break. We've had several roof leaks due to the rain at multiple sites. They have addressed all of those as well and are working on them. The pool's been giving us a little bit of difficulty lately. The heater still works. The heat is fine on it, but the pH alarm went off this morning. The vacuum was broken a couple of days ago, but it has been fixed and is working now. And then currently we only have one lead maintenance position that's currently open.
Thank you very much. Any questions? All right, moving on to item 11, action items. Item A, consider approval of second reading and adoption of updated board policies and administrative regulations. Staff report.
Yes, this is our normal process. We recommend approval.
Move to approve the second reading and adoption of updated board policies and administrative regulations.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Daniel, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. Item B, consider approval of the 2023-2024 annual developer fee report. Staff report.
Yes, this is a perfunctory item, but it's an explanation for how the district utilized funds. We recommend approval.
Move to approve the 23-24 annual developer fee report.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Pombo and seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. Item C, consider approval of positive certification of the first interim financial report for the 2024-2025 school year. Staff report.
Yes, this is part of the budgetary process. It's the first step of adjusting our budget based on enrollment and ADA. We recommend approval.
Move to approve the positive certification of the first interim financial report for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Daniel, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. Item D, consider approval of facilities usage fees for facility improvements. Total cost $20,809.89. Cuesta protective pads on concrete solar poles. Staff report.
Yes, first we made a correction on the electronic agenda. There was a typo for the amount, but it is $20,809.89. Safety first. These pads around the poles will protect kids and people walking by.
Move to approve facility usage fees for facility improvement. Total cost $20,809.89.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Pombo and seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. All right, moving on to the next action items. These are the public hearings in this governing board's proceedings for Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities. The hearings are to inquire into 1, the formation of the CFD and a future annexation area of the CFD, 2, the levy of special taxes in the CFD, and 3, the need to incur bonded indebtedness in the CFD to finance the cost of certain proposed facilities. We have been presented with boundary map of the CFD. Does anyone wish to file written protests? If so, they must be filed with the clerk now. Moving on, action item E. Consider approval to adjourn from regular session to open public hearings in this governing board's proceedings for formation of the district's Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities, and future annexation area, and for the issuance of bonded and other debt. Staff report.
Yes, as you know, it has been the district's practice to fund residential developers' mitigation fee obligations by forming community facility districts, or CFDs. A CFD is a geographical area in which the school district is authorized to levy a special tax and issue bonds to finance school facilities. The proposed CFD 2024-1 includes neighborhoods I, J, K, and L. A proposed future annexation area for the CFD includes a handful of parcels adjacent to those neighborhoods that may annex into the CFD in the future when they are ready to develop. We have included a map of the proposed boundaries of the CFD in your package, and it's presented here and circled there, which is north of Byron Highway. On November 6, 2024, the governing board adopted a resolution of intention to establish the CFD and a resolution of intention to issue bonds for the CFD. Tonight's action involves a handful of steps. But first, let me remind the community and the board that in order to fund the building of a school, a K-8 school in the district, we need a combination of CFD-generated bonds and state funds that are generated from a state construction bond, and one just passed in November called Proposition 2, which lines up the system to fund the next schools that we're going to build, starting with Neighborhood J School. Now, again, the handful of steps include, first, the governing board will hold public hearings on the proposed CFD, the special tax that will be levied in the CFD, the school facilities that will be financed by the CFD, and the bonds to be issued for the CFD. Second, the governing board will consider 3 resolutions that will form the CFD and approve the special tax rate. Declare the necessity for bonds, and call a landowner election. There are no registered voters in the boundaries of the CFD. Third, the clerk will open 5 ballots submitted by the qualified landowner electors and announce the election results. Finally, the governing board will adopt a resolution declaring the results of the election. Adopt a resolution authorizing the issuance of bonds and directing staff to return with bond documents when it's time to issue the bonds, meaning when it's time to get money to build the school, we'll be bringing back documents to sell the bonds and bring the money in. And introduce an ordinance levying the special taxes in the CFD. The ordinance will be adopted at our next governing board meeting. Please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we have a script to help us move through tonight's proceedings because it's not complicated. It is a labyrinth of legal and important documents for us to approve this evening.
Move to adjourn from regular session to open public hearings in this governing board's proceedings for formation of the district's Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities and future annexation area for the issuance of bonded and other debt.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Pombo and seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have to do it? No. The motion carries with 5 ayes, no noes.
Only resolution.
Is there any member of the public who would like to make comments, questions, or protests from the audience? Seeing none, I will now entertain a motion for action item F, consider approval to close the public hearing and return to regular session.
Move to approve to close the public hearing and return to regular session.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Daniel, seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. The governing board may now ask questions and discuss the CFD. Are there any questions? None?
I do not have any questions. I had a call with our superintendent today and clarified everything, so thank you for explaining.
We'll move on to action item G. Consider approval of governing board resolution number 24-25-12, a resolution of formation of Community Facilities District and future annexation area, Community Facilities District number 24-1, Mountain House School Facilities. Staff report. Any new thing?
We recommend that you approve.
Move to approve Governing Board Resolution 24-25-12, a resolution of formation of Community Facilities District and future annexation area, Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Pombo, seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes with 5 ayes and no nos.
Roll call vote, please.
Oh yeah, roll call. My apologies. Roll call.
Lisa Boulay,
Aye.
Vanita Daniel,
Aye.
Samik Modi,
Aye.
Stephanie Olson,
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
Moving on to action item H. Consider approval of governing board resolution number 24-25-13, a resolution determining necessity to incur bonded and other indebtedness, Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities. I will take a motion.
Move to approve. Move to approve of Governing Board Resolution 242513, a resolution determining necessity to incur bonded and other indebtedness, Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Daniel and seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor, roll call vote.
Lisa Boulay,
Aye.
Vanita Daniel,
Aye.
Samik Modi,
Aye.
Stephanie Olson,
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
The resolution carries with 5 ayes and no nos. Moving on to action item I. Consider approval of governing board resolution number 24-25-14, a resolution calling special election Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities. I'll take a motion.
Move to approve Governing Board Resolution 24-25-14, a resolution calling special election Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay, seconded by trustee Daniel, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
Roll call.
Lisa Boulay,
Aye.
Vanita Daniel,
Aye.
Samik Modi,
Aye.
Stephanie Olson,
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
The resolution passes with 5 ayes and no nos. At this time, I ask the clerk to open the ballots and announce the results of the election.
They're slippery. Oops.
In the age of AI, it's these old school utensils that make things run smoothly. Don't stab yourself.
We might need to use our safety training, Mr. Pombo.
Let's hope not.
Oh, that one was easier. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
His impressive improvement curve. Oops. That one might have not been licked well.
I am in receipt of 5 ballots, and all are voted yes. The ballot measure passes by the required 2/3 vote.
The results of the election being unanimously in favor of the levy of the special taxes, the establishment of the appropriations limit, and the incurring of bonded indebtedness, we may now proceed with the final actions for the CFD. Action item J, consider approval of governing board resolution number 24-25-15, a resolution declaring results of special election and directing recording of notice of special tax lien, Community Facilities District number 24-1, Mountain House School Facilities. Is there any additional staff reports?
None.
I will take a motion.
Move to approve Governing Board Resolution 24-25-15, a resolution declaring results of special election and directing recording of notice of special tax lien, Community Services District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Pombo, seconded by trustee Daniel, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
Roll call.
Lisa Boulay,
Aye.
Vanita Daniel,
Aye.
Samik Modi,
Aye.
Stephanie Olson,
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
The resolution passes with 5 ayes and no nos. Action item K, consider approval of Governing Board Resolution number 2-25-16, a resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of special tax bonds, Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities.
Move to approve Governing Board Resolution 24-25-16, a resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of special tax bonds, Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities.
Second.
On a motion by Trustee Boulay, seconded by Trustee Daniel, student trustee preferential vote,
Aye.
roll call.
Lisa Boulay,
Aye.
Vanita Daniel,
Aye.
Samik Modi,
Aye.
Stephanie Olson,
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
The resolution passes with 5 ayes and no noes. The board will now consider introduction of an ordinance levying taxes in the CFD. This is often called the first reading of the ordinance. The board will consider adoption of the ordinance, sometimes called the second reading, at our meeting on January 15th, 2025. Action item L, consider approval to introduce an ordinance number 24-25-1 entitled An Ordinance of the Governing Board levying special taxes within the Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities, and waive its full reading. I will entertain a motion to introduce the ordinance and to waive the reading of the full ordinance.
Move to approve to introduce an ordinance number 242501 entitled An Ordinance of the Governing Board levying special taxes within the Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities, and waive its full reading.
Second.
On a motion by Trustee Daniel, seconded by Trustee Pombo, student trustee preferential vote,
Aye.
roll call.
Lisa Boulay,
Aye.
Vanita Daniel,
Aye.
Samik Modi,
Aye.
Stephanie Olson,
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
The motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. Thank you, everyone. That completes tonight's proceedings regarding the Community Facilities District. And we will move on to item 12, information and discussion items. Item A, updated DARE graduation. Staff report.
Yes, I have an updated list of DARE graduations, and we already have one amendment. So we'll get this to you in an email. But Altamont Elementary, January 29th at 6 p.m. Bethany Elementary, January 8th at 6 p.m. Cordis Elementary, January 30th at 6 p.m. And Costa Elementary on January 22nd at 6 p.m. All of those are at 6 p.m.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on to item B, LUSD infographic, staff report.
Yes, Deputy Superintendent Harrison brought this idea to us in 2018, I believe. It's really a data dashboard of information regarding a lot of important interrelated outcomes tied to the LCAP state priorities and the numbers our school district is producing. We've invited Assistant Superintendent Sharp to give a presentation this evening regarding this year's infographic.
Good evening, President Olson, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me this evening. So before we start off the infographic review, I'm going to highlight some specific items because it's going to look a little bit different. The LCAP is interwoven into the infographic, and because we have our new LCAP that will extend the next 3 years, it's shifted some of the information on the infographic. So as a review, the LCAP has to cover these 8 state priorities. So within the infographic, you're going to see these priorities addressed via the different metrics. Our 3 LCAP goals are interwoven in the infographic. We have our systematic closure of the opportunity gaps. Goal 2 is instruction and curriculum efficacy. Goal 3, 21st century outcomes and stakeholder communication. Within Goal 1, we're covering priorities, pupil achievement, course access, and other pupil outcomes. In Goal 2, you're going to see basic services and state standards addressed. And in Goal 3, you're going to see parental involvement, pupil engagement, and school climate. Now up here, you're going to see some of the priorities are highlighted in blue. That is because those priorities stayed the same from the prior LCAP to the current LCAP. But as you can see, there are other priorities within each goal that are not highlighted. So those are new to the goal. So previously, Goal 1 addressed priorities 2 and 4. Previously, Goal 2 addressed priorities 1, 3, and 6, and Goal 3 addressed priorities 5, 7, and 8. Now, that's not significant to any of the information. Our goals didn't change, our actions didn't change, but things are going to be moved on the infographic. So if you notice that, that is why. So we're going to have our 3 buckets. Goal 1 is addressing pupil achievement, course access, and other pupil outcomes. And you can see below, those are going to be the metrics that are going to be measuring Goal 1. In Goal 2, we have basic and state standards, and that goal and actions will be measured by the metrics below. And then Goal 3, parental involvement, student engagement, and school climate will be measured by the metrics you see below in the yellow. The infographic can still be accessed by both public and district staff by going to our Lammersville website, clicking on About LUSD and Data Dashboard, and that's where anyone can access this information, so it is public information. And with that, Noelle is going to put up our infographic for me so I can go through the information. That's okay. So I'm going to have to use a sheet below me also because my eyesight can't see that far. But if you're on the computer screen, you can increase the image so you can see it from the computer. So as we're looking at Goal 1, the first box down on the left-hand side is our AP pass rate. So that is the percent of 74% of our students are passing AP tests with a 3 or higher. Now, in the little acorn, 43% of all 9th through 12th grade students are enrolled in an AP course. Off to the right of that are our demographics. So I'm going to go through the AP pass rate. This is going to apply for all of the other metrics, but I'm going to walk through what it means for each area just on AP pass rate. So if we look at the Black African American, the first one, the 2% means 2% of our Black African American population are enrolled in AP courses. Of those 2%, 23% of them are receiving a 3 or higher on an AP test. So looking at Hispanic, of our total Hispanic population, 3% of them are in AP courses. Of those 3%, 51% of them are receiving a 3 or higher on their AP courses or AP exams. Going down, we have less than 1% of our English learners in AP courses. Our socioeconomically disadvantaged population, of that population, 4% are enrolled in AP courses, and 40% of the students enrolled are receiving a 3 or higher on their AP tests. We have less than 1% of our SPED population taking AP courses. And then lastly, our white population, which this is the first year it's included in our infographic because it's been identified as a population that's not achieving at a rate that it should. So of the white, 4% of our total white population is in AP courses, and 49% of them are receiving a 3 or higher on the tests. So I'm not going to go through that on each of them, but I wanted to explain to you what the percentages were because sometimes it's confusing on what percent what we're using for those percentages. So down below, if we're looking at the 73%, this is A to G readiness. So this is 73% of our students in grade 12 are showing A to G readiness. Below, 14% of our students are receiving at least one D or F in grades 9 through 12. And below that metric is DRA. DRA is a foundational reading assessment for our kindergarten through second grade students. So of our second grades or K through second grade students, 79% are on track to meet those grade level standards. Moving back up to the top blue square, that is our CASP, ELA and math. All 3rd through 8th grade students and 11th grade students take that test. In ELA, 74% are showing proficiency, and in math, 69%. Down below, we have GPA 3.0 or higher. 80% of our students in grades 9 through 12 are maintaining a grade 3 point or GPA 3.0 or higher. Below, NWA MAP, ELA and math. This is now spring 2023-24. In ELA, this is all 3rd through 8th grade students and high school students taking ELA. And in math, we have kindergarten through 8th grade and our high school taking that. So that's what's representing here, 61% showing proficiency in ELA and 67% in math. And then lastly, science, 61% proficiency. Those are 5th, 8th, and 11th grade students taking that test. So back up to the top, and this is one of the items that's moved from the previous infographic. Our CTE pathways, grades 9 through 12th, we have 73% CTE enrollment, and you have the breakdown by males and female enrollment in there, as well as the percent of subgroups involved in CTE pathways. Down below, advanced placement enrollment, 41% are in advanced placement enrollment. The percent of subgroups enrolled in AP, and then breaking down by males and females. And lastly, in that subject or area, we have early college participation. These are students taking part in our early college opportunity through Delta. 43 sophomores, 31 juniors, and 18 seniors involved in that opportunity. And then other pupil outcomes, this is the one thing that's not going to be a local or a state required. These are going to be those different tests that in the past had been more prevalent or required, because UC and CSUs require these for enrollment, and they don't require those anymore. So we're starting to see a decline. So you can see ACT, how the high school is comparing to California in ELA math in total. And I just want to draw attention to the ELA, because this is not typical for Mountain House, is that you're showing a decline or a lower score for the high school than California. So I want to bring to your awareness the number of kids. So when we're talking about the number of kids who took the ACT in 23-24, 22. So you see one test is going to completely skew a number. So just again, keeping in mind, those numbers will continue to decline. Who's taking ACT and SATs, they're not required, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention there. And then you see the SAT over on the right for English math total, and then PSATs at the bottom. Now on the very bottom of the screen, you're gonna see enrollment by ethnicity. We have it by TK through 8th grade, and then 9th through 12th as well, just so that we can see the demographics that we have across the district. So scrolling down, before our infographic was on 2 pages. Now it's not evenly spread across 2 pages, so it's going to be one scrolling long, big tabloid like I have here. So looking at Goal 2 Basic, we have 100% of our students with standards aligned instructional materials, 89% of our teachers highly qualified or fully qualified, and then 100% of our facilities in good repair. Next are...
Can I just interject real quick? Why that's 89% is you're fully qualified if you have a full teaching credential, but there's a teacher shortage. So every year we hire a number of teachers on PIPs and STIPs and Probe Zeros to bridge the gap between that. So it's a ding in the sense that the ideal state measure is a fully credentialed teacher with the correct credential for a particular topic area, and the reality of California, which is that there are some teachers that we're hiring inexperienced teachers to fill the staff.
I realize that it's the verbiage that we are given, but I think it would be more descriptive if it said fully credentialed rather than fully qualified, because I believe that many are qualified even though they're not done with credentialing.
So next, priority 2, state standards. This is implementation of our academic content and standards for all pupils, including English learners. We look at how we support teachers and staff through professional learning opportunities, as well as our curriculum offerings. We are scoring a 5 in all curriculum areas across all grade levels. For professional learning, we had 10 teachers take part in our Blended Learning Academy, which has been an ongoing academy that addresses technology and instructional strategies within the classroom. We had 88 teachers in our New Hire Academy. 159 teachers take part in strategic support training, which is providing intervention for our 20%. We had 337 teachers take part in impact teams training, TK through 12th grade, and 16 teachers participate in a summer reading academy. As far as our English learners, the LPAC assessment, we had 841 students take the LPAC assessment last year, with 74% of those students scoring in the top 2 LPAC levels. And then right below there, you see our enrollment by student group. So again, being able to take a moment to look at our demographics across the district, K-8 to 9-12. And then back up at the top, our parental involvement, very strong. 22-23, we had 695 parent volunteers, and in 23-24, 955 parent volunteers. Looking at results from our California Healthy Kids survey, 82% of our parents think LUSD schools prepare students academically for success in life. 77% of parents believe LUSD schools encourage active partnership, and those were parents at grades 5, 7, 9, and 11 grades. And pupil engagement. So this is where we look at our attendance rate, 96%. Chronic absenteeism is at 9%. Graduation rate, 99%, and the dropout rate, 0%. So at attendance rate, we did increase 0.2% overall. Chronic absenteeism, we did a 2% decrease overall. And lastly, school climate. Here we look at our suspension rate and expulsion rate and trends over 3 years, and you can see the decline. So the top number, 21-22, suspension rates and expulsion rates, and declining to 1.5% in 23-24 for suspensions and a 0% for expulsions. And then below that, there are subgroup suspension rates you can see below. Any questions?
You want to
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. The attendance rate, where you have the percentage increase overall, is that a 0.2%?
It's a 0.2, and we try to make those decimals extra large so that you guys can see it. But yes, it is a 0.2 for attendance.
Okay, could we add in a 0 also there, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
Before the point?
Yes.
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 Right?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes. Okay.
And could we go to the PSAT section, please? And yeah, they're under other pupil outcomes. So I do see that we have the PSAT for just the 8th graders mentioned, but we do have our sophomores and juniors also taking PSAT at our school. So I'm just wondering, will we mention those?
I will look into that.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, if we go to the AP pass rate, which you explained, if you can scroll up a little. Yeah, thank you. So it was great that you explained about the percentages for us. But if I'm just looking at it as a community member or as a parent, for me, the percentages, as you mentioned, slightly confusing. So I was just thinking of verbiage where we could say person scores 3 or higher of enrolled, or somewhere where we could mention that the percentage belongs to the enrolled, amongst the enrolled, like how you just explained to us, right? 2% of Black students, but amongst the 2%, 23% scored 3.
So you wanting something in here where there's more explanation of the 2% versus the 23%, that it's not clear?
Just saying that the 23% was 2% off the 23.
Okay.
Thank you.
To me, though, that makes sense the way it is, because why would we, if somebody didn't take the test, why would we include that in the percentage? So to me, the way it is, it makes sense. I mean,
so for me, how I thought first was 2% of students are enrolled, but 23% have scored 3 or higher.
So 23% of the 2% enrolled did score a 3 or higher.
And that's what I'm trying to request, if we could, have some mention there, because if I'm just opening it as a parent, right, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm gonna see 23% scored higher, but then 2% were enrolled. So if we could just explain that a little.
I would. It's good.
Good.
My suggestion would be, I've got a question, but in response to that comment, is even maybe a page above it that just says, with call out boxes, that just says, here's how to read this thing, right? So that first page. Sorry, go ahead.
No, we actually have boxes that you can hover over when this gets put online, so it's not live. So I would typically be able to show that to you. The current form that's online has boxes that you can hover as anybody hovering over the boxes, but because we had to reconfigure the entire document, we have to go back in and redo all of our call boxes, the hover boxes, what? Oh, the call up boxes.
So I'm looking at the live version right now, and when I click on pupil achievement and the AP pass rate, I hit the plus. All it says is the percentage of students enrolled in AP courses who scored a 3 or higher on the AP exam. So I think the 2 columns of numbers need some sort of, whether you put it in the call out box, which is great, and explain, here's what this means, that, for example, 4% of I'm looking at last year's, 4% of our Black students in grades 9 through 11 or 9 through 12, I'm assuming, took AP classes. Of those, 1.2 scored a 3 or higher. I know the numbers don't match because I'm looking at the last year's version.
So might it help if I have a section that explains the percent enrolled and how we're getting the percent enrolled? Is it that thing that's confusing to you, or is it only AP pass rate that's confusing, or is it in general?
Just that.
How about just saying above the left-hand column of enrolled students, percentage of enrolled students?
when you click on that plus sign, that's what it says.
Does it? Okay.
It's already
Then-
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think enrolled, though, to me is confusing because we use enrollment as in a lot of different terms of enrollment in the district.
It does say enrolled in AP courses.
Enrolled in AP courses.
Yeah, when you click on it, it does. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, can I ask more questions? So the version in the agenda had different number for AP pass rate. That number was 69%. Do we know what changed, or is it something get corrected?
Something would have been corrected, so this is correct. I apologize if the correct form did not get put into the agenda.
Okay. The other question would be if someone wanted to click in and see the full set of data so that you can see the N number and how many quantity, what would that process be for a parent or a community member?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it one more time? I was writing your notes so I can make sure I get it right.
I apologize.
That's okay.
So one of the things that struck me first was if I look at these subsegments, the Asians are not included, right? And that I'm assuming accounts for the if I add up the small percentage enrolled versus the 43% that are enrolled, you have a large segment of the population or student population that is enrolled in the class that's not represented in one of these subsegments. So I get that part. If a community member or a parent wanted to click in and see the raw data behind the subgroups and the number enrolled and the percentages of passed of each group and so forth, what is that process for them to be able to do that?
Meaning the raw data other than what's up here, they want to see our back data in the backside?
Correct. So if I wanted to see, how many students is represented by Hispanic in this 51% and 3%, if I wanted the actual number, and the reason I ask is when you mentioned the ACT score, it made sense to say with that additional context that there's only 23 students that took that test. So in that section, I would even suggest putting n equals 23. But if someone wanted to do that on more of these data fields or data areas, what is that process for them to be able to learn that information by themselves?
We don't currently offer the raw data for number of students in this document. It is, if it's whatever's up here is what numbers are available to the general public.
Okay. I think it's, at least for me, it's something to consider of how do we make that type of data more accessible so that as people want to click in and say, hey, how is a segment that maybe is not represented here or get a detail on it, if that's something that is doable with data. And then the other question I had is if, on a similar note, if someone wanted to say, okay, how did, I know that we archive these infographics and you can click from last year. Is there any different way that someone can look at trends across years in a graph format or a data format, or is it they'd have to kind of pull that together themselves?
They would have to pull it as a community member. They would have to pull it themselves.
Okay. I do think.
I'm sorry, just to add, unless it's something that's offered in the data dashboard, because some of these items are public items also, and they can pull them in different ways. So like CASP scores, for instance, you can find that on the California data dashboard. Different things would be available in other ways. But some of these are internal to our district. They're internal assessments. DRA would not be anywhere else other than what we offer in our district.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
I have a clarifying question. On the chronic absenteeism part, I'm just curious, is, for instance, the percentage number next to Hispanic, is that 23% of our Hispanic students are considered chronic absentee?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Trustee Bailey, do you have any questions?
I'm all set. Thank you so much. I love this data dashboard. I love that we have the opportunity to present this data to our community, and it's very pretty. And I think it makes our numbers stand out. So thank you. I know it's a lot of work, and I appreciate it. Thanks.
Likewise, I just wanted to say thank you. I love this. I remember a few years ago when Deputy Superintendent Harrison passed out like a placemat to the board. I still have that.
I do too.
It's beautiful, and I'm never going to throw it away. It's very good information. It's like a data paradise. I don't know. But thank you so much for the presentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Moving on to item C, San Joaquin County Office of Education Board Member Workshop Staff Report.
Yes, we put information into the agenda regarding this. This is something that a board member or board members can attend. It's a training. I know the Brown Act is a focus. I think ethics are a focus. It's not an obligation. It's a choice, but we wanted to, they invited all of you if you wanted to go. And so we're just putting it out there for your information.
I am planning on going to that, and anybody that would like to join me, I'd be happy to drive whoever wants to come over there.
I'm hoping to go to that as well. And I did receive a letter from the county in today's mail that it did say there's information on the ethics training that is required, a new requirement for board members. So I am going to try to attend that training. I'll have to check my schedule first, though.
Yeah, I'm confirming with my schedule, but I'm going to make every effort to attend, and I will definitely reach out to carpool if that happens.
I will note that the letter I got in the mail said 4 to 7. And I don't know if that's just for new board members or if that's different than what's on here.
I noted that too.
So-
Yeah.
So David, thank you for the offer. I will join you.
Thank you.
Everyone say they wanted to go?
That is correct.
Okay.
We need to check our schedule, or I need to check schedules.
Yeah.
Just confirm with me and I will RSVP for you.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, moving on to item 13, calendar. Item A, Friday, December 20th, 2024 through January 3rd, 2025, winter break, district facilities closed. Item B, Thursday, January 9th, 2025, education committee meeting at 6:30 PM in the Professional Development Center. Item C, Wednesday, January 15th, 2025, district advisory committee meeting at 6:15 PM, district office boardroom. Item D, Wednesday, January 15th, 2025, next regular governing board meeting, 7 PM, district office boardroom. And item E, Friday, January 31st, 2025, district honors music concert at 6 PM in the Mountain House High School Theater. We're now to item 14, the annual reorganization of the governing board officers. We will start with item 1, a call for nominations of the board president. I will take the nominations and then we will vote in that order. Do I have any nominations for president?
I'd like to nominate Lisa Boulay for president.
Thank
I
you.
second that.
Thank you.
All right, we have Lisa Blais has been nominated with a second. Do we have any other nominations before we go to vote? Seeing none, all in favor as Lisa Boulay as board president, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. Congratulations,
Thank you.
President Boulay. All right. Moving on to item 2, call for nominations of board clerk.
I nominate President Olson for board clerk.
And I would like to nominate trustee Daniel.
Okay, we have 2 nominations. We will vote in the order. All in favor of President Olson for board clerk, say aye.
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 Any opposed? I hear none. The motion passes. I heard 4 ayes and 1 abstention. Moving on to item 3, nominations for representative to County Committee of District Representation. I'd like to nominate trustee Pombo.
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor, or are there any other nominations? Sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes, the motion passes with 5 ayes and no noes. And then number 4, consider approval of appointing Dr. Kirk Nicholas as secretary to the board.
Move to approve Dr. Nicholas as secretary to the board.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Congratulations, secretary. In a moment, we will adjourn to closed session where we will be discussing the following items. Item A, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, complaint, Government Code, Section 54957. Item B, confidential student discipline matter pursuant to Education Code, Sections 48900. One, student expulsion, number 24-25-2. And item C, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code, Section 54956.8.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
On motion by trustee Pombo, seconded by trustee Boulay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned to closed session at 8:28 PM. Thank you, everyone.